Let's talk about the anonymous functions or lambda functions in Python. We can declare anonymous functions in Python using the lambda keyword. Okay. So why are they called as anonymous functions? So the reason for calling them as anonymous functions is because they don't look like normal functions. Okay, so how is a normal function defined in Python? We know that we can define a normal function with this def keyword, and then you write the function name and then the parameters, okay, and then the definition or the statements that has to be executed when the function call is made. So the anonymous functions are not declared and used as normal functions like this. So there's a slight variation in how the anonymous functions are declared and used. So let's take a look at the syntax of the lambda functions. So this is how the syntax of the lambda function looks like. You basically write the keyword lambda, followed by that you write the parameters that this lambda function accepts, and then you write this colon, and followed by that you write the expression that has to be evaluated based on the parameters you pass, and this expression also should return something from this lambda function. Okay. So if you want to write a lambda function to compute the sum of two numbers, so let's write a simple example here. We'll write a lambda function to compute the sum of two numbers. Okay, so I'll say lambda sum. So this is the name of our lambda function. So lambda sum equal to, I'll say lambda, it accepts two parameters a and b, and the expression is a plus b, so it will return a plus b. Okay, so this is the parameters and this is the expression. Let me execute this, and now to call this lambda function, you call it just like the normal function, right? You call this the name of the lambda function and pass the parameters that it is expecting. In this case it is expecting two numbers, so when I pass this, it's going to return the sum of two numbers. So this is how we define and use the lambda functions. So an important thing that you have to remember is that the function definition of lambda function is just an expression and not a multi-line statements that you write in your normal functions, right? So the reason why we use this lambda function is because it comes in handy whenever we want to quickly write an inline function. They look very simple and does not need too much of coding like the normal functions. Okay, so let's check out some more examples of writing the lambda functions. Let's try to find out the largest number from the given two numbers using lambda functions. So I'll say largest equal to, I'll define this lambda function, and the lambda function expects two parameters, and here is the expression that I'm going to write. So I will return a if a is greater than b, okay, and then I'll write else b. So I will return a if a is greater than b, or else I'll return b. So this is basically what I'm trying to do is, if a is greater, I'll return a, or else if b is greater, I'll return b. Or in other words, I'm trying to find out the largest of the two numbers. Okay, so now I'll call the function this, or the lambda function, and pass two numbers and execute this. So it will compute or return the largest number out of these two numbers. We can use the lambda functions inside the something called as a filter function. Okay, let's see an example of how to find out the even numbers from a list using this filter function and lambda function. Okay, so let me define a list here So it is having some numbers. Okay, now I want to make use of this filter function and lambda functions to find out all the even numbers that are present in our list. Okay, so I'll write filter. So filter will basically accept two parameters. One is the lambda function, okay, and the next parameter is the data, I mean the data on which the lambda function has to be executed. Okay, in this case we have to execute this lambda function on our list. So what is the lambda function? It is for every x, okay, if x mod 2 equal to 0. So for each item, if this expression evaluates true, then it's going to filter that number. So what is this expression? X mod equal to 2, which basically means that if the number is even, then the expression will evaluate to true, or else it will evaluate to true or to false. Okay, if it evaluates to true, then it will be applied, or a filter function will be applied to that. So let me execute this, and we can see that we are getting filter. So we'll convert this filter to list and check. So you can see that we have extracted all the even numbers from our list. So let's try to understand how this works. So this is the syntax of filter function, right? So the first parameter is the lambda function, and the second object is the iterable object or the list object. So what the filter function is going to do is going to for each item in our list, okay, it will apply the lambda function and checks whether the result is true or false. If the result is true, then the item will be appended to the list, or else it will not be appended. And this is how we get all the even numbers from the given list. Okay, so in the previous example, I mean this example, we saw how to find the in this example we saw how to find the sum of two numbers using the lambda function. Okay, so just like the filter functions, we have something called reduce function. Okay, so we will see how to find out the sum of all elements in a list using reduce function and lambda function. Okay, in the previous example we found out the sum of two numbers. This one's the sum of two numbers. Now we are going to find out the sum of all the elements in the given list using the lambda function and also something called as reduce function. Okay, so to be able to do this, use this reduce function, we need to import it from a module called function tools. From function tools, import reduce. Okay, now let me define a list. So basically I want to find out the sum of all the elements inside this list. So I'll make use of this reduce function, and this also accepts the first parameter as the lambda function, and the second parameter will be the list. Okay, so what this lambda function is accepting is at each iteration I'll accept two numbers, and then I'll return a plus b, the sum of two numbers. So this lambda function will be applied to all the numbers, or two at a time, and then the final computation of the sum will be calculated. Okay, so let me execute this, and we can see that the sum of all the numbers inside our list has been computed. Okay, so there's a function called as map, which you can apply using which you can apply an expression to all the items in your list. Okay, let's see an example of how to multiply each item present in your list by 2. Okay, so this is my input list, and using the lambda function, what I want to do is I want to multiply each item with 2. So I should get something like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I want to multiply each number by 2 and get the resultant list. So we'll get this done using the lambda functions and along with the map function. Okay, so I'll say a map. Okay, so again map will have two parameters. One is the lambda function. So for each element a, we are going to return a multiplied by 2, and the second parameter is the list that we want to perform this map operation, and then we are going to convert this result into a list. Okay, so we have multiplied each item by 2. So that's all about lambda functions in Python.